What's going on, guys? My name is Victor, the creator of the GameCase. So I'm getting constant requests as far as what the GameCase is, what's in it, what does it do, and all that. So I decided to make a couple of webisodes for you, for potential clients and my current clients that bought the GameCase. This one, the first one we're going to start with, is an overview of the GameCase. Kind of what to expect, what it looks like, what's in it, what is a GameCase, what the hell's going on. So we're going to take this first episode as just as an overview. In future episodes, you're going to see me talking about each individual system, setup, button configurations, the whole 9 yards, kind of like a video tutorial on how to make this thing work. The thing is, don't let that scare you. Don't think, oh no, I need to know rocket science to make this thing work. No, just that, you know, I've made a couple of these. I believe this one right now is going out to Ohio. This is going to be my 7th GameCase, and I get some feedback. People tell me they love it, it's great, couple of hiccups, but that's to be expected. It's stuff that's very easy to fix, nothing drastic. Before I get into all that, let's talk about the basics of the GameCase. The GameCase is a gaming machine. This thing's got about 30 different systems built into it, along with about 20 different PC games. I'm talking like Super Nintendo, NES, arcade classics. Most of the classics I aimed for with this. I'm not saying you have all classics, I'm not saying you have every single system, because there's like 1,000 systems out there, but when I built this, I aimed to get the most important ones, and I felt like the ones that had the most games to it and all that. Again, you got your Atari, you got your Super Nintendo, most of the Nintendos are there, even the Game Boys, the GameCubes. This thing does a lot. I built this so that I could take it with me if I go out on a trip, or if I'm going to a friend's house. This thing comes along with me, we could all have fun, we could all play it together. So now keep in mind, we're talking Super Nintendo, we're talking NES. Vic, you need the controllers. No, this thing is programmed that each player 1, player 2, it'll play each system perfectly fine. As far as like your N64, your Nintendo GameCube, and I believe there's another one I forgot. Yeah, that one's only one player, only because there's only 6 buttons on player 1. So there are a couple of systems that you could only do one player with, but you can still do the system. You can still play the games. You get the idea. So let's talk about the specs of the GameCase. The GameCase itself is 25.5 inches long by 16.5 inches wide by 6 inches tall. Okay. Inside the GameCase, you got your 2-player 20-button arcade-style button layout, and you got a 15-inch laptop inside. The GameCase was designed so that everything can fit inside of it. 1, 2, 3, close the lid, you're all set and done. Behind the laptop is a compartment where you could put the actual battery brick for the laptop. So now let's take a look at the back of the actual laptop itself. In the back, you're going to find 2 USBs. One USB is meant to communicate with the Zinmo controller. The Zinmo controller is what speaks to the arcade buttons and the arcade sticks. The other USB is used to power on the LEDs of the arcade. You do not need the LEDs on for the arcade to work. Also on the back of the laptop, you're going to find your HDMI port and your power adapter. So yes, the laptop does have an HDMI port, which means that you can hook it up to a big screen TV. For the millionth time, yes, you can hook it up to a big screen TV and still have your arcade buttons still work. Luckily, the controller itself has a 6-foot long USB cord. So now give or take that, yeah, the USB to the LEDs itself might not reach, that is not 6 feet, but the main important thing is to make sure that your controller does work with the laptop still. Check out the Street Fighter footage. Since I connected it to the big screen, I'm going to leave it on the big screen because it makes it a little bit easier to show you exactly what it is. Now let's talk about the software within the GameCase itself. This is running Hyperspin. If you've done your research and you know a little bit about emulation and front ends, you know Hyperspin is the king of front ends. Now, give or take with that information though, Hyperspin is a very difficult program to really program. It's very detailed. It's very, every little bit, every little piece of code really counts. You can't really mess up because one little piece of code, it messes up. That's the issue with hard drives. When people buy eBay hard drives, that's the biggest issue, because this right now is set up to read off your C drive. Your external hard drive that you buy on eBay might be set up to read off the E drive. That's what people don't understand. This thing is built into the laptop. There's no external hard drive with this. This is reading all in the laptop, which basically means that there's no way for this thing to mess up. So now I posted another video earlier about how many games in total and all that. Every day though, I do add new games. So the last video that you saw, I just added Injustice. I've also added Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom. Every game case, I try to really pack it as much as I can. So now the way Hyperspin works is that the main screen is your screen with all the systems, okay? On my Hyperspin drive, the main screen also shows your PC games. So you got your systems and your PC games. For example, that's Street Fighter 4. That, according to the laptop, is a PC game. That's not reading it as a Xbox One game or whatever system it's on. That is considered a PC game. Let's go to arcade. It's the best one to start with. You hit A on your keyboard. It's gonna load into a second menu, which is all of your games now. This is all the games. I believe within my arcade alone, it's about 2,800 games. So within your second screen, you get your games. So I'm gonna go back into the system screen. I'm gonna pick the NES. I'm gonna go into it, and that's gonna show you all the NES games in it. Now keep in mind, this is about 12,000 games, whatever the number is. So it does take a second to load up, and yes, some of the files aren't all there. The only reason that is because either one, I didn't find the file, or number two, I had to remove some files to pack more games in. Ultimately, I wanted more games than the video files. Once you select the system again, you go down to the game. I'm a big Mario freak. I'm gonna play some Super Mario 3. I'm gonna go into it. I press the button one time. It's very important. You only press it one time. It's gonna show up with a loading screen, and you're gonna be playing Super Mario 3 in no time. There it is. We're all set. Now again, everything is set onto this. I'm not touching the keyboard. Everything is here. When you're done, you're bored, I want to play a different game, you just press the exit. And next you know, you're back into your Hyperspin drive. That's it. Going in and out of systems, it's very easy, very simple. So again, be sure to check out the next episode where we go in depth as far as starting up the laptop, what program to click on, and all that. Keep in mind that we are going to do a lot more episodes. We're going to go into little details, major details, as far as if you have to edit something, a controller input. I'm here to help you. For everyone that is a GameCase customer, I hope you enjoy your product. For all my future GameCase customers, do not be afraid to message me, hit me up, any questions, I'm always there. So again, be sure to check out the next episode where we go in depth as far